Hey everyone, time for more of our instant analysis of the 2011 NBA Draft here with David Aldridge and Seth Davis from Sports Illustrated. I'm Matt Weiner, and we've arrived at Jimmer time. Contain yourself for a minute.
It's Jimmer time all the time.
The national scoring champ, the player of the year, taken 10th overall by Milwaukee. So he walked on the stage wearing a Bucks cap. He's unlikely to play for Milwaukee, and I'll let DA deconstruct the deal that is likely to send him to Sacramento.
Yeah, well, again, we talked about this before. 3-team deal. Milwaukee gets Beno Udrih, Steven Jackson, Sean Livingston, and the 19th pick overall in the first round. Charlotte gets the 7th pick, which became Bismack Biyombo and Corey Maggette. Sacramento gets the 10th pick, which is Jimmer Fredette, and John Salmons. That's the proposed trade. It's, all these things, they'll be announced after the first round in all likelihood. So Sacramento gets Jimmer Fredette. And remember, the Sacramento Kings aren't supposed to be in Sacramento. They're supposed to be on their way to Anaheim.
Right.
They got a reprieve at the 11th hour. This is a team, if they're going to have any chance to stay in Sacramento after this year, they have got to show the fan base that they've got something worth coming to see. Don't think that was not a consideration.
That was my next
taking
question.
Jimmer Fredette.
How much of a consideration? Because you've been reading over the last week or so that there might have even been some disagreement between the upper management and some of the basketball folks about the value of a Jimmer Fredette pick there.
This is what I was told. The basketball people were fine with him on the list with Knight and with Kemba Walker. That was legit. He was on the list. But the question is, why was he being pushed so hard? And I think, again, part of this is they've got to have something that people will buy tickets to see, because that's a big consideration for them whether they're going to stay.
For the Kings, yeah.
And you know what? I got no problem with that, because this kid can play.
Right.
If he couldn't play, that'd be one thing, but this kid can play.
All right, Seth, I've made you wait long enough.
I mentioned again. Listen, obviously I have a very high opinion of Jimmer Fredette. We know that. I think he's a legitimate pick at 10. He's not the kind of guy who's going to come in and be able to keep your franchise in the city just because you have him. He's a solid basketball player. What I like about him is that he is essentially a point guard. Even though he scores a lot of points, he gets to the foul line a ton. He's got great strength, as you see. This was really his expertise, getting to the rim. As good of a three-point shooter as he is. He performed really well in workouts, and even in Chicago in his agility and speed tests, he's a much better athlete than people think. He'll never be a great defensive stopper.
Right.
He's a very, very solid basketball player. I'd say he's a borderline starter to a surefire starter in the NBA. He's not going to be an all-star, I don't think, in that regard. He's a solid pick, the 10th pick in the draft, and obviously he'll raise some eyebrows and stir up the fans' interest to an extent, but the important thing is, can he help you win, and I think he can.
Well, the Kings now, with Beno Udrih in this trade, they're three-guard rotation. Tyreek Evans, they like Marcus Thornton a lot. They're going to re-sign him as a restricted free agent, and Jimmer Fredette. So you've got a good three-guard rotation. The pressure, there's going to be pressure on Jimmer, but not the kind of pressure there would have been on him in Salt Lake City playing for the Utah Jazz.
Right.
You've got a legit starting point guard in Tyreek Evans, who was a very good player just 2 years ago.
And can play off guard
and
with
can play off.
Jimmer.
You've got two guys in Fredette and Evans that can play both guard positions.
And now they've got a new Kings fan.
Absolutely. I'll give you Joe Maloof's number in a minute.
Well, he should, right now, the Bucks.
Fredette's not wearing the hat. You should be wearing that hat.
I was hoping we'd get him another year of collegiate eligibility. I guess it's too late for that.
Probably so.
Every college.
Probably so.
So long, Jimmer. I'll miss you.
He's very sad here.
Keep watching him. It's a different uniform.
Won't be the same. Innocence lost.
Jimmer to the Bucks for the moment, on his way likely to Sacramento.